Hello everyone. Welcome to the episode 29 in hexadecimal of Debugging TV Frames program. You can type your questions during this episode. If I can't answer particular questions now, I then post answers on the website debugging.tv. We continue with kernel space journey and learn a few commands, and also I remind you about two patterns. One is historical information, and also the second one is execution residue. And we only cover unmanaged space here. And although exercise that I'm going to show you today can be done also using user mode debugging, I decided to do it using kernel debugging. So to start with, let's go to virtual machine. And here I launched a notepad. On debugging.tv, on Debugging TV Facebook page, I posted a quiz. The question was how many threads are in notepad process. So far only 2 people answered, and their answer was 1 thread in notepad, and this is what I thought before preparing this program episode. I have already a kernel debugger attached, and I break I also have a log file opened. I post the log file afterwards. So let's find notepad. So here's our process. So let's see its threads. Probably takes some time to download symbols. Let's wait a few more seconds. It probably communicates. So you see there's only 1 thread in notepad message loop. This is what is expected. Of course, there can be as many threads as possible in notepad, especially if there are injected threads. So imagine it could be even 1,000 threads all injected. But the question was about normal threads without doing any programming or thread injection. So what happens? Sometimes we also see 2 threads in notepad if we break with a debugger, for example. So let's see how this can be done. So there is command bp break with process ID. So this is our process ID. So let's try Okay, now the current process now is Notepad. So we need actually to do reload because process context changed. We see debugger breakpoint thread injected, and let's see how many threads we have in Notepad again. Now we see we have 2 threads in Notepad. This is what you see also if you just launch WinDBG inside operating system, like inside this guest operating system, and attach it invasively to Notepad, then you see 2 threads. If you attach WinDBG non-invasively, you see only 1 thread. Let's continue with our target. But what happens if we work with Notepad, play with it? For example, we can launch font dialog, do search. We can also print. And if we don't even need to print, we just need to run to open this print dialog and then press cancel. And then we break and check how many threads are in Notepad now. We see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threads. So let's repeat and run this dialog again. Then do break. We still have 5 threads here, but sometimes we can see 6 or 7 threads, and on Windows 7, this is Windows Vista, but on Windows 7 I was able to get 9 threads. Let's see what threads are here. You have main thread, and then there are RPC threads, and also some threads related to printing user interface. So you see that depending on previous execution history, previous execution or user interface interaction, there can be more threads than just 1. So this is what we call historical information pattern. This is one example of historical information. So let's finish this exercise looking at execution residue. Execution residue is what is left by execution, for example, on a raw stack. And here we are interested in the main thread. Let's see if there is anything related to printing. So I make this thread current. And let's dump its raw stack. I use GPS command. And let's search for something like print, for example. You see, we have this reference. So common dialog. So we see that execution residue. And we can always disassemble to see if this execution residue is not coincidental. For example, this function, this is a return address. So to see if this is not coincidental mapping, we just disassemble backwards and see if there is a call instruction. So this is valid execution residue reference. So this is all for demonstration. And finally, this is the usual slide of forthcoming training sessions and free webinars. Please know that there are 2 new forthcoming free webinars in July on semiotics of software debugging and generative software narratology. So you're welcome to attend. And there is also forthcoming pattern-oriented network trace analysis webinar in June, late June. And so, thank you for watching this episode. Please later check out the slides and recorded video from debugging.tv. The next episode should be on 15th of July due to debugging holidays and webinars. And we continue with live kernel debugging again. Okay, thank you for attending. See you in July. Bye-bye.